Imagine that you have $5,000 in your savings account. If you've got this money in a traditional bank that earns around 0.1, 0.2%, then over the course of a year, you're going to earn $1 on that $5,000. Take that same money and move it to a high yield savings account, currently, which you're earning about 3.7%, and you're going to earn about $180 over the course of a year. So which do you want to earn, $1 or $180? I know what I'm going to take. I'm going for the 180. So today I want to share with you two different high yield savings accounts that you could use to put your money that you've got saved where you can actually earn something on that money. Hello and welcome. I am Natasha. I'm a money coach. I help people to create systems that make managing their money easy and learn to manage their money with confidence. My goal is to help 100 families or individuals to improve their financial situation and work towards financial independence. If you want to be one of those 100 people, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different accounts, two different high yield savings accounts. But first I want to show you this calculator by Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is one option for a high yield savings account. They have this great calculator so you can visualize how much your money could earn you over the course of a year or multiple years if you have it in a high yield savings account compared to if you have it in a traditional account. So what I've done here is just put in $5,000 as the initial deposit, and then I put in a recurring deposit amount of $20 each month. So you can put in your specific numbers. You can search for this calculator, the Marcus High Yield Savings Calculator, put in what is the amount that you would initially be putting into the high yield savings account. If you're planning on adding more money into it, put that amount, and you can decide if you're going to do that monthly, weekly, or bi-weekly to add money into it. And I would keep it as 1 year just to do projections over 1 year. How would this affect your particular money? And then go ahead and select some banks. So I've already selected several banks that have high yield savings accounts. Ally Bank has a high yield, American Express. I have Chase, so we can see an example of one of those traditional banks that a lot of people tend to use. And then Citibank also offers a high yield. So I've got all of those selected. You can choose of the ones that they have here, and then I'll click done. And then from here, you can see if you were to deposit $5,000 into the Marcus by Goldman Sachs account, which is currently paying 3.75%, and you were to add $20 each month over the course of a year, what you could expect to earn is about $192. Then it shows you the national average, which is 0.41%. Most traditional banks are actually lower than this 0.41%. This is an average, remember? So if you had this in a bank that had an APY of 0.41%, you could expect about $21 over the course of the year. With Ally Bank, which is paying 3.6% right now, you could expect about $184. American Express at 3.7, $189. Chase at 0.02, not even 0.2. 0.02. You could expect about $1. Citibank does not have a high yield. I think there's a different city that has a high yield savings account. So this Citibank is at 0.03. You can expect to earn about $2 on this $5,000. So the high yield savings account is a great place to put your emergency savings, because typically that money is just sitting there. You're not using it. It's sitting there and sitting on the sidelines waiting for you to use it if an emergency comes up. But you want to be able to access that money. So you might choose to put it in one of these high yield savings accounts such as Marcus, Ally, or American Express, so that you can actually earn money. And if you have a higher emergency fund than $5,000, then you're going to see even much greater gains. So I'm just going to push this up to $20,000. Let's say we're not going to add anything on a monthly basis. Then you're going to see hundreds of dollars that you earn over the course of a year versus $4 or $5. So that's the importance of using a high yield savings account. Now I want to talk about two different high yield savings accounts. All right, let's talk about Ally versus Sofi. Ally and Sofi are both online banks. They do not have physical branches. You access them online only. These are banks that are FDIC insured, meaning if they happen to fail, then the money that you have in the bank up to $250,000 is insured, meaning you can get access to your money. Even if the bank fails, your money still belongs to you and you will be able to get it from that bank, okay? So those are some similarities. We're gonna look at the pros and cons of these two, putting them head to head. So first, let's start with the APY, the interest rate that you can earn on the savings in each of these bank accounts. Ally currently offers 3.6% as the recording of this video. Sofi currently offers 3.8%. So going head to head with the interest rates, SoFi offers a higher rate, meaning you're going to earn a little bit more going with SoFi than with Ally. Now, these rates do change depending on the interest rates that are set by the Fed, but as of now, this is where they're sitting at. Now, in order to earn the interest rate, there can be different stipulations. For Ally Bank, there are no minimums to earn that high yield of 3.6%. So as soon as you open that account, that savings account, as soon as you input any amount of money in there, you're going to earn 3.6% or whatever the going rate is for their high yield savings account. SoFi, on the other hand, in order to earn the high yield rate, you have to set up direct deposit or you have to pay $10 a month. This is a drawback when it comes to SoFi, in my opinion. So when it comes to the ease of accessing the high interest rate, which bank wins? It's going to be Ally. Now, if you do not have direct deposit and you do not pay the $10 a month with SoFi, you can still earn a rate of 1%, which is higher than most traditional banks. But in order to earn that highest interest rate, you do have to have direct deposit of any amount set up or $10 a month, paying that amount in order to earn it. Looking at overdraft fees, Ally offers no overdraft fee. So if you overdraft, you're not going to be charged any type of fee. On SoFi, it's a little bit murky. They do have overdraft protection and overdraft coverage, but there are some different rules around how much is actually covered and if you actually qualify for that free coverage. So again, in this category, it's going to go to Ally with their no fees for overdrafts. Looking at how many accounts you can have with each bank, Ally allows you to open multiple accounts. So you can have up to 3 checking accounts, up to 10 savings or money market accounts, and up to multiple other accounts. So with Ally, you can open lots of different accounts. With SoFi, you can only open 1 checking and 1 savings. When you open an account with SoFi, it's either both of them or nothing. You get a checking and a savings account. You cannot open multiple. So if I wanted to have my own personal checking and savings with SoFi, and then I wanted to have a joint checking and savings with SoFi, cannot happen. You can only have 1 account open with SoFi, which is not as great as Ally, because with Ally, you can have multiple accounts open with them. Now, when it comes to transfer limits, your savings account may have limits on how many times you can make transfers outside of that savings account. There used to be a rule where you could only transfer up to 6 times from your savings account because the government didn't want you making a lot of transfers from that. During COVID, that went away. Some banks kept that around or they altered their rules bank by bank. SoFi eliminated all of those rules when it comes to transferring from your savings account. Ally, there's a 10 transfer limit from your savings account. So when it comes to comparing that, SoFi is going to be the winner for that. You can make as many transfers from that savings account without really having any penalties. Versus if you do that with Ally, you go over that limit too many times, they are going to say, oh, you're using this like a checking account. We're going to close this account out for you. Okay. Now let's take a look at some other things. So one of the features that you might need if you are buying a house or buying a car, you might need a cashier's check. Ally offers cashier's checks. SoFi does not offer cashier's checks. One feature that is really great that both of these accounts offer are the buckets or the vaults. We have talked about these when we talked about the non-monthly expenses. Buckets and vaults make it easier for you to designate your money into little groups, so that you know exactly what all of that money is in that savings account. You don't have to have $50,000 sitting in there in one big account. You can break it into buckets to say, okay, 20,000, that's emergency fund, 10,000, that's vacation, 10,000, that's property tax, 5,000, that's whatever you want it to be, by using the buckets feature or the vaults feature with SoFi. So both of these equal footing when it comes to that particular feature. And then one other thing that SoFi offers that Ally does not offer is a one-on-one access to a financial planner. So if you are on that SoFi Plus membership is what SoFi calls it, where you're earning that high interest rate, then you are able to have access to a CFP, an unlimited amount of meetings with them. No cost, no additional cost to you. Ally doesn't offer anything like that. So those are some of the ways that Ally and SoFi differ, some of the pros and cons of each one. One may be better for you or the other, depending on your situation. For instance, if you want to have just one bank where you do all of your main stuff, then you might choose SoFi Bank if you're only needing one account. But you might choose Ally Bank if you're like, I just want to put my high yield savings account here. I just want my savings in this account, and I am gonna still bank at another bank for my primary bank. Then you might use Ally because you don't need that direct deposit to earn any high interest, and you can still have that savings account without having a checking account. Versus SoFi, you do have to have the checking and the savings account open. All right, hopefully that gives you some ideas as to why you might choose Ally or SoFi. You don't have to go with Ally or SoFi. There are many other high yield savings accounts. This is just an example of 2 of them. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're gonna enjoy some of the other ones that I have been making, so don't forget to check those out, and I'll see you in the next one.